Welcome back to Code with Petit Point. In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at what is often referred to as the superpower of Astro, especially by at Coding in Public YouTube channel, content collections. Now, the best way to manage any content in Astro locally is content collections. So in the documentation here, we see that it's the best way to manage sets of content in any Astro project. Collections help to organize and query your documents, checking your editor, and providing type safety for all your content. So Astro 5 introduced Content Layer API for defining and querying content collections. This means you can also get remote content and build a custom loader. So we're going to go through content collections, what they are and how we can make them. First of all, we need to define a collection. This can be a directory of blog posts, JSON file, etc. So as we're doing a portfolio website, we're going to make a content collection of specifically projects, maybe art projects that we've done, or a website project, or writing projects that we've published, or anything like that. So basically, we're going to store them in markdown, and markdown is a way of a front end, uses front end matter, and it is really good for text heavy content. So what we'll do, we will follow what is defined here. So this is what it created. This is a README document, and all of that was created from the CLI. So obviously you could use this. I've used it to create a project with Astro. I wrote most of the code, and then it opened the folder for me in VS Code, and I was able to run it, and it was working. So this is definitely a game changer. It's free, so it's not like Cursor or Windsurf where you have to pay. And you can even extend it by obviously adding your API key, and you can see which version it's using, and there's a lot of you can always change the method, so you can either use Gemini, Vertex AI, or log in with Google, or you can set external editors. I've got mine as you got chat as well. You can compressing chat history. So yeah, this is definitely a really good tool, and it's going to be amazing if you want AI in your workflow. So yeah, it's just a cool free thing that you can use now, which is going to be awesome. Okay, so just take a look at what Markdown looks like. We have an area here that's in these three dots here. You've got title, and this is what you're going to be making different every time. Then you got the author. You might even have the image source file. You might have the a website or a URL to see the live project or the publication. You might even have the date as well. And then underneath you have exactly what's in the article. So in Astro, you can read markdown files, MDX and others. And this is just wanting to make sure that we knew what we were talking about, and we will basically use this as a base and actually make markdown files for our portfolio project. So here we are inside our project, and we're going to create a folder under the source component. I'm going to call it content, and we're going to call it let's call it, I'm going to use my website as a thing, so let's call it articles. Yep. And we have a new file, and we'll say medium, let's do, yeah, that's like article1.md. And here we go, we'll add the from there as we saw. Now I'm going to want a title. I'm going to call it article 1, and then we're going to want a, sorry, space here. And then we're going to want a published, and we're going to say 2020, sorry, 1st of June 2020. So we've got title, we've got description, we've got published. We'll take a look at what else we can put as a, say author. Say author. I'm going to put my name. You can say tech. And that will be an array of strings. We'll say Astro.js. We'll say GitHub. And we will say Tailwind CSS. Okay. So then you have the title, description, published, author, tech, and this is what we're going to present. Oh, and then we'll actually say, oh yeah, we can say, we can have a link that will show the article. So we can have it. We could have it here actually. URL, and we'll say, I'll just use my website there. Okay, so this is our first article, and what we can do actually, can actually just copy this, and I'm going to create a new file and say article2.md. We'll change this to article 2. This is another article. I'm going to change that to 2024. Actually, leave it 2025. Change that to 2. And we'll make another one. .md. And we'll change this to article 3. We'll change that to 4. And this is yet another article about Astro.js. Okay, so there we go. Got 3 articles inside of the source component there. So now we can look at content collection. And as we looked at what it is, and now we can actually define one. So in order to define one, we need to create a content.config file. So we'll go to the source, make sure we have a file called content.config.ts, right? And what we can do, we can just, well, we need to make sure that I'll just copy this so we can follow the instructions. So we're defining the collection and we're importing any loaders we need. And we're going to call ours articles. We don't need dogs because articles, all right. So this one defines the collection. So then we need to actually tell it where to find the articles. So in this case, we're getting we add the loader from Astro loaders, and we're getting any file with the pattern that has .md as the file name, and we know that we have it in content and it's called articles. So there we've created a content collection of articles, just like that, okay? And so it's going to get everything, if we take a look again, it's going to collect everything, we don't need this, inside of source.content.articles that has a .md file, MD extension, okay? So that's our content collection. We can go one step further and actually define the pattern of this content collection by adding the schema. So if we take a look, we have title, description, published, author, and tech, and URL. So that's what we'll do. We'll say title, which is a string, description, which is also a string, and we'll say z.string. We have published is a date, author is a string, and what else we have? Tech and URL. Okay, so tech is an array of strings and URL is another string. So it is bringing, sorry, I don't need the code on there. So it's bringing Z, which is Zod, which will make sure that anytime we're referencing an article, it will have these. So we're basically making sure that we have all of these items when we want to display it to the user. Okay, so in the next tutorial, what we'll be looking at is how to display these elements inside the project card components. So we'll make another component and we'll make it use the project card, but we'll dynamically add all of these things. Okay, so that's what we'll do in the next one.